Hello, good people of the internet. Today we are on episode 3 of Suzerain. Again, we're still very early into the game. Again, this is my first playthrough. If you want to see from the beginning, I'll link episode 1. And if you don't know what Suzerain is, then, you know, episode 1 will give you a good feel for it. Otherwise, we're going to continue. There are, I mean, every time we do a exclamation mark, there are more notes that appear. I don't know if they disappear at any time. If you know, let me know. So why don't we read the reports, and then we will move on to a decision. I also don't know if I do like this decision, if it means that this decision will go away. So, you know, do I only get to choose one of them? Anyway, we still have budget in the government. Economic growth is going to go down. There's lots of news as well, which I read some of it, but it's just too much to keep up on. Too much reading the game. I'm going to do my best to read things. Increasing unemployment. The number of people filing for unemployment in Morna continues to rise as the recession continues. The change in economic conditions is historic and stunning in its speed, said the mayor of Morna in the aftermath of the crisis of 1951. The unemployment rate in Morna rose to 9% in the following year. The last 6 months have almost erased all gains in employment over the last 2 decades. Declining energy output. Valgan Dam, a critical energy resource for Swordsland, has been experiencing a reduction in its energy output due to its age. The dam's aging infrastructure is proving less efficient, affecting its ability to maintain previous levels of energy generation. This decrease could impact the region's energy supply if not addressed promptly. Plans for refurbishment or modernization of the dam could be proposed in the future if necessary. One more up here. I mean, we have some international ones, but we'll read those after, maybe. Ribery, with its rich historical sites, unique culture, and natural beauty, has untapped tourism potential. However, the city lacks the necessary infrastructure and promotional activities to become a fully fledged tourist destination. Local officials are actively seeking further support to develop Ribery's tourism sector. Any strategic plan for Ribery's development will require a focus on infrastructure and the promotion of its attractions. Boosting tourism could significantly enhance the city's economy and create numerous job opportunities. Indeed it could. Let us, because there's still a couple things to read here. The Reform Committee reports that any potential change to the Constitution in the direction of the reformists will likely result in strong opposition from the National Front Party. The members of Assembly in support of such direction seem to be in great numbers and possibly make up a majority in the GNA, while most members of the USP seem reluctant about supporting such changes. Okay, so it will have a majority in the Assembly, but my party won't be happy about it. Further investigations by the police department reveal a potential arson case with no identified suspects yet. The police chief in the whole sword has voiced concern about suspected sabotage by a foreign nation, inviting the Swordist Intelligence Directorate in the investigation to expand the investigation. The area is cordoned off from the public to discover further evidence. So, CFB bill? Campaign finance bill. I suppose we should look at that before we invest in things. Section 1 of this bill stipulates a significant change in the methodology of public funds allocation to political parties. The new measure replaces the previous system based on the number of votes won in the general election, with the system reliant on the proportion of seats secured by a political party in the Assembly. Section 2 sets the annual financial allocation to political parties at 500,000 ren per each member of Assembly. This shift ensures that financial support from public funds aligns more closely with the party's representative influence within the legislative body. Section 3, a consequential effect of these amendments will effectively lead to a substantial increase in election budget for the USP and a minor augmentation for the other parties present in the Assembly. This restructuring of funding fosters a more proportional representation of party presence within the Assembly. Section 4 highlights An important consequence of this reallocation, parties that do not meet the 10% election threshold will see their public funding effectively curtailed. This measure ensures that public resources are concentrated towards parties with a significant representation in the assembly. So I can either veto it or sign it. But the increase for the USP, which I'm a part of at the moment, I don't know if that changes. And this is something that they've voted on. If so, then I'm fine with it. We'll sign it. I'm for electoral funding. Electoral funding reforms. Okay, so the situation, unfair electoral funding, resulted in a significant change, yeah. Under the new law, public election funding is only provided to parties that have secured seats in the assembly. I mean, no, it doesn't sound like a good idea, generally. But the government had voted on it. Should I be trying to stop it when the government votes on it? I mean, I am the president. I say the government, the assembly voted on it, didn't they? I suppose they would because of the USP. Has doubled. Well, oops. Maybe we will not try and do things like that then. Invest in mega infrastructure. Okay. Ministry of Economy has put forward 2 bold plans for mega infrastructure projects that would help with the economic recession in the long term. Investing in projects of this scale will take up some portion of our budget, but could prove worthwhile if accomplished successfully. In a mega infrastructure project, yes. Do I get a choice? Because he says there's 2. Or is it just... We don't know the choice yet. Stat decreased, government budget, yes. Discussion of the potential infrastructure projects. Okay, Blue Mansion or Lackhaven. So we're going to have a conversation about this now. Excellent. The view towards the Marchian Sea from Lackhaven was nothing short of exquisite. The seaside state resident fittingly named the Blue Mansion was large, fine, and accommodating. But enjoying the luxurious mansion wasn't the main reason of our visit. We gathered the economic team here to discuss the new infrastructure investment project. Half an hour had already passed since the start of the meeting. Unfortunately, I did not even have a chance to have my usual afternoon coffee. Looking at the view from the windows, I left my mind drift for a couple of seconds. Simon's voice brought me back to the ongoing discussions. Mr. President, we need to focus on boosting the economy as quickly as possible. One of the fastest ways to achieve this is through infrastructure projects. Agreed. What can we focus on? Agreed, and I'll let him do it. On the one hand, businessmen are complaining about the slow logistical rail network between Horsard and Lackhaven. Lydia started talking as soon as Simon took a breath. On the other hand, citizens are criticizing the lack of a proper highway connection between Lackhaven and Arvory. The narrow roads by the seaside are not only dangerous, but also difficult to traverse. They're both problems. We need to heed the calls of our businesses in these days of recession. I mean, the businesses were complaining about... So, Arvory, if I click on it, is it going to show me? Regional capital of Agonland. Because it's like this place. And before, they were complaining that the infrastructure wasn't good enough here. And that would improve things, I think. But also, I can't remember what was being said about Gelsord, because a number of things were being transported was not good enough. Anyway, hear the calls of our businesses, which were talking about the rail network. Pick the most profitable option. Yes, we do. Citizens and their demands matter the most. Well, economic growth at the moment matters more. Well, because they will be happy if we improve the economy. Both will be. Which is obviously connecting our 2 most economically powerful cities. It is not business people who are suffering now, but ordinary folk. What really matters is that your first economic act accomplishes something tangible. Prove our capabilities. The people must know that this administration can get things done. Must improve the economy of the nation and bring it out of recession. Yes. I define the two important projects for your attention, the H3 highway project and the L1 high-speed railway project. Repositioned himself. The ministry can only support one project at a time. With our current capacity and budget, let's move on to the details of each. So which do you want to hear about first? I would like to hear about the highway project. Aims to improve the abysmal state of the road network in the Agonland region bordering Agnolia. The area is home to several million Agno-Sordish and Sordish who currently feel neglected. There are no proper highway connections to and from Agonland. The mayor of Avery, Eric Neal, has been asking for a bigger budget to develop the regional infrastructure. He told us that even trucks are having a hard time traveling through the main roads. The increased traffic is causing trouble for the people commuting in and out of the region. Can't leave the request of a party member unanswered. Must be cumbersome for the citizens. I agree this could also hurt local businesses. Yes. It is. Bless their souls. I'm happy we're thinking alike on the matter. Let's take a more detailed look at the upgrade proposal. Look at the map. The H3 highway route starts here in Lockhaven, and from there it leads to Lenkirk, yes. From there it goes all the way to Avery. As a result, the road network towards the Agnolian capital, Stahlport, will also improve substantially. This place. She paused and leaned forward in her chair. As mayor, I saw the central government continuously neglect our country's Agno-Sordish-dominated regions. Is this administration going to continue that kind of negligence? We should no longer neglect a key region for our trade with Agnolia. Our Agno-Sordish citizens should be respected as swords like all of us. Makes little sense to put investments in such a remote region. No longer neglect a key region of trade. Or is it about the countries? Is it about our citizens, or is it just about not doing it? I mean, it's not about any of that. It's about the economy. You know, it's not just about trade. It's about the whole... Anyway, let's just go with this middle one. There should be no preference or separation among Sordish citizens, indeed. Meaning we should think about what's best for the country overall, which is what I was trying to say. Anyway, it has to be pointed out that the highway would be less beneficial in the short term. It will increase the speed of transportation throughout the region. Our citizens will be quite pleased if we successfully accomplish this. Besides, if we enter trade talks with Agnolia, they will see the investment as a positive sign. Very interesting, but I still want to hear about the railway. Yes, indeed I do. Your predecessor, Alfonso, failed to deliver on this campaign promise, but now we have the opportunity to start the construction of a groundbreaking railway project. As you know, our current trains cannot meet the standards of today. As many other countries adopt new electric engine technology to power up their trains, we're falling behind. News about the new electric trains in United Contana has piqued our businesses' interest. They too want to transport resources and material from Holsworth to Lockhaven with great speed and efficiency. Great superpowers have led the way with their high quality technology. We've got to keep up. This could also empower businesses and bring investments. The major cities of Sordon need more infrastructure to support the growing populations. Not very convinced yet. Please explain further. I mean, with great speed. Yes. Should be our priority. Growth and development optimization. Our plan is to upgrade the old L1 line from Holsworth to Lockhaven. It will transform into a high-speed railway. Look at the map. Starts here at the capital, from there it goes to Amrika, then to Gelsord, after which it will reach Lockhaven, our economic powerhouse. You lean forward. The L1 will significantly boost the economies of the newly linked cities and even the rural areas in between. Lockhaven is our primary port, so the goods unloaded there will be transported to wholesale much faster. Yes, we should link these rural areas in the middle with the major cities of Swordsland. I believe this would benefit Swordish businesses and Swordsland as a whole. Investment in the regions that are already developed makes little sense. Let's go with that option. For the wealthy middle-class citizens of these regions, but not for the poor dears who wouldn't be able to afford the increased ticket prices. The mayor of Amrica also requested this project to be prioritized. Businesses in the region will be very content, which in turn will increase investments and employment. Therefore, I will recommend the L1 high-speed rail project. Have I? I don't think I have. I mean, if he's suggesting it, but I could just go with his suggestion. Again, I can't go up too far. Because, I mean, they both need doing, I think, even though you know, in the short term, it'll be better probably for this railway, but I have a feeling, well, unless war comes and the whole thing gets ruined, but let's go with the highway. She knew that I would see reason. Negotiations will begin in the middle of this year. You will be able to award the contract to a corporation of your choice. The ministry estimates that construction will be completed in 2 years if every step going forward is executed successfully. Thank you for all your contributions and thoughts. Good. Is there anything else? This should be all. See you soon. Have a nice day. Everything's settled. Okay. So I have started the assignment. And open city information. And it has this highway under construction. Excellent. And that is what this is saying. Slightly annoying when you close a window, it goes to the edge of the screen. We can also invest in Arcasian company stocks. Well, before we do that, let's maybe go to our regional map and read some of the reports here. If you haven't seen this yet, this is Swordland. This is the country that we are in charge of. Here's Lockhaven and here's Holzord. So we have a new, well, project to build between Arvery and Lockhaven, the road network. And because we're going to do that, let's read about Agnolia. Congratulations from the PM Van Houten on our election and praised our party's stance on just and transparent elections. He signaled his wishes to continue the trade partnership between our countries as equal partners, as opposed to earlier trade deals which he believed gave Swordsland unfair advantages. Fair enough. Congratulations from Chancellor Hegel. Great victory and wish for close cooperation between our countries in the future. Hegel signaled concessions from Valgsland in case of a promising trade deal. He also congratulated the Swedish democracy for their successful elections and warned us about the threat Arcasia's growing influences poses for Eastern Makopa. Fine. Nothing from Rumburg, who are going to probably attack us at some point. Lesbia. Prime Minister Alvarez congratulated you for the results and spoke about his hopes to have a beneficial partnership deal in the future. He sent his best wishes to the Swedish people and warned us about the threats of the encroaching millennialist influence of United Cortana from the east, emphasizing the importance of unity in our continent. Contanan Security Pact. significant step forward in international diplomacy. The Contanan Security Pact, an intergovernmental military and economic alliance of 9 countries led by United Contana, has signed a 5-year non-aggression pact with the Federation of Rakan Isles. The standard agreement underlines the CSP's commitment to broadening its influence beyond its home continent of Contana, while maintaining peaceful relations across the globe. The pact demonstrates the CSP's ongoing efforts to peacefully extend its influence across the American archipelago, marking an important turn in the complex geopolitical landscape. As the CSP strengthens its global position to counteract the capitalist influence of ATO, this agreement signals a commitment to strategic, peaceful expansion that respects the sovereignty of nations that lie in the ocean between United Contana and Arcasia. Is this not constitutional republic situated in Western Macopa? Yeah. And then this one. Oh wait, Macopa is... so this is Valgsgard. And then the Contanan Security Pact, yeah. So I can't click on any of these things now, but Contana's Macopa is this continent, Contana's another continent. Right, I can look at the codex. I go home and type in Contana. Federalist Socialist Republic, situated on the continent of Contana and considered as a superpower. Okay. Anyway. ATO advocates for global human rights amid tensions. In response to growing global tensions, the Arcasian Treaty Organization, an intergovernmental military and economic alliance of 14 countries led primarily by Arcasia, has issued an expansive report examining the state of human rights worldwide. Amid intensifying nuclear developments and efforts to counteract the expanding influence of the Contanan Security Pact, the ATO's commitment to championing human rights remains unwavering. The report meticulously identifies regions worldwide where human rights are most endangered, shedding light on areas of concern in multiple continents, including Eastern Macopa, Western Rica, and Southern Contana. Proposed strategies underline the need for actionable, collaborative efforts to address these crises, championing an international focus on basic human rights and freedom. As the spectre of potential tensions and proxy war looms, the report calls for nations to remember that the fight for universal respect for human dignity transcends political and ideological divisions. King Ramos Torras of Rizia has formally extended warm congratulations to President Anton Reign following his electoral success. In an official address, he praised Swordsland's thriving democratic ethos and expressed a keen interest in fortifying bilateral ties under the Reign administration. The king anticipates a future of close cooperation and mutual respect between the two nations. President Smolak sent his congratulations on the election victory and wished for a cooperative future between Verden and Swordsland, signaling a desire to normalize the diplomatic situation between the two countries. There's also this one. Republic of Kirut. Oh, and you can also... see, I don't know if this is Contana, what this counts as. Anyway, expresses approval of Swordist democracy, congratulated on recent victory, extolled peaceful transition. Yes, thank you. It's just I read quite a lot of them, so I don't feel the need to read them all. Anyway, so we have, I mean, we could read the news, or we could invest in Arcasian company stocks. Personal investment opportunity has been relayed by Mr. Manger. Manger? I don't know. Minor. Manga. Manja. Monja. There are so many ways to pronounce this word. I would have to, I don't know, that guy. An experienced stockbroker in Ventry City, Arcadia is selling valuable shares of Armadine Industries, an up-and-coming electronics manufacturing company. We could invest or let the opportunity pass. Can I look in the codex for Armadine? 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 No. Helps if you type it in correctly. I mean, if I want to look at that, I can just look at this. Yes. Can I see their GDP and stuff? I don't know. I mean, I'll buy some shares. One personal wealth. So I lost some personal wealth. I don't want to lose all of it. Reception at the inaugural ball. I had just finished buttoning up my suit jacket when the doorbell rang. The presidential guard had arrived to pick us up for the inaugural ball. The ball was a three-decade-old tradition, breathlessly anticipated by politicians, bureaucrats, and the press. All eyes were about to be on me. I called on Monica to get the children ready. Looking in the mirror, I straightened my tie and took a deep breath. After tonight, there would be no turning back. I mean, I feel like there's already no turning back because you're, accepted and whatever. Suddenly, Deanna hugged me from behind, startling me a little. Monica had fixed her hair into an elaborate braid woven through with ribbons. Papa, Mama told me it's time to go. Hello, darling. I'm ready. Where's your brother? Am I going to prepare myself? Am I ready? Just finished buttoning my jacket. Anyway, Frank is still upstairs. She shrugged. It was almost time to leave. The big ball was starting in less than an hour. Frank, enough fussing around. Let's get a move on. Well, Mama told me it's time to go. Yeah. So Monica knows it's time to go. But why are we starting darling? Well, I don't understand. She told her, right? And now I'm telling her back. Anyway, she was wearing a simple yet elegant beige sheath dress and short heels. Her hair had been neatly pinned into a chignon, showing off the pearl earrings I had given her for our 15th anniversary. All those years she had stayed by my side. Now we were about to begin the most challenging chapter in our lives yet. I mean, sure. How'd you do, Mr. President? Kiss her hand, embrace her. Kiss her hand. Now where the hell is Frank? Now we can shout. And we will compliment the wife, always the thing to do. Now there's that charm that got you elected. Frank trudged down the stairs. This thing itches. Tugging at the collar, he seemed ill at ease. Are you good to go? I'm glad to have you with us for this big night. Be nice. Short out, I'm just dying to go. Papa, are these people going to be around us from now on? Pointed at the guards at the door of the house. Yes, we need extra protection. We can't leave our side until my term ends. You'll get used to it. These people are our friends. Well, let's say that we need protection. Even though she's maybe too young to know that. It's all right, baby. They're here to make sure nothing bad happens to your papa or his family. Held Deanna's hand, together flanked by the guards. We all walked out the door. Halfway to the car, Frank stopped abruptly and turned towards me. Dad, do I really have to go? Couldn't I stay home tonight? Nervous myself, but I'd feel a lot more confident with my son by my side. It's a party thrown for me. Don't you want to support your father? You'll love it, son. I'm sure there'll be plenty of pretty girls to dance with. Don't make me angry. Well, that's, you've got to make him feel like he's doing something useful. Smiled reluctantly. Well, when you put it like that, sure, let's go. emotional blackmail and whatever. The presidential guard showed us the way as red and blue lights flashed around us. Serge, my driver, ushered us into our armored limousine. Motorcade starts moving towards the palace. I gazed out the window deep in thought. Anton, what are you thinking about? Nothing. Nice car. With all that's been happening, wondering if I made the right choice. I was thinking that we've come a long way together, haven't we? Sure. Yes, we have, and there's still so much that we'll accomplish side by side. Just remember, no matter what happens, the children and I will always be here for you. I'm going to help Papa fix everything. Frank rolls his eyes. I know you will, honey. This means a great deal to me. Just enjoy the night. Yes. Kids won't remember it. After what seemed like just a few minutes, the convoy slowed down to a halt. Serge rolled down the limousine's soundproof partition. We are here, sir. Hope you enjoyed the drive. I can ask how he is. There's not really time for that. I'll just say thank you. Always a pleasure to hear that. Serge opened the door for me. The normally imposing palace was festooned with garish banners that nearly made it look cheerful. A line of shiny luxury sedans stretched around it. Politicians, bureaucrats, and celebrities, the creme de la creme of the Swordsman elite, streamed inside the building. Good luck out there, Mr. President. I'll see you on the trip home. I stepped out and immediately found myself surrounded by loud voices and camera flashes. Hordes of eager journalists thrust their portable microphones my way. My guards fended most of them off, but one woman managed to dodge them and corner me. I recognized the Swedish Broadcasting Company logo on her press lanyard. I haven't had that conversation with what's-his-face yet. Mr. President, if you plan on working together with the opposition parties on the expected constitutional reforms, I can say we'll bring real change. This night is for celebration, not talking about policies now. If the opposition is willing to support us, we're going to work with everybody. Real change? Well, that's what we said. Does that mean you don't plan on working together? Do you think you share no common ground with the other parties? What? Exactly, I didn't say that. Reporters. Always annoying. Anyway, one more question. One of your first acts as president was to sign a campaign finance law allocating public election funds by seats in the assembly as opposed to number of votes. This is a deliberate attempt to defund the Communist Party and the Bludiers Workers' Party, neither of which have received the election threshold. It's agreed by the majority of the GNA. I couldn't use my veto on the first day. Perhaps it was. I mean, that's kind of the real reason. If left unchecked, those two parties will only make trouble for me. It's to ensure the USB has the funds we need to stay in power long enough. I mean, it's this first one, right? Snuff ma'am, to one of the guards while nudging the reporter away from me. A path through the crowd was now open, and we quickly made our way to the entrance of the palace. At the same time, a dozen fireworks went off. The entrance was decorated with beautiful ribbons in Swordsman's colours of white, yellow, and maroon. A lush maroon carpet had been rolled down the stairs. We entered the lobby and joined the throngs of people making their way towards the ballroom. Behind me I heard a familiar voice. There they are, the most beautiful family in Swordland. Uncle Petter, great to see you. You two are growing faster than I'm getting wiser. Are you sure you've gotten any wiser? Yeah, we'll be that. Maybe not after all, I'm sticking around with you. I see a familiar face, Petter. Evelyn, Petter's wife, approached us and shook our hands with a firmness that belied her delicate features. Congratulations, Anton. I have to say the results were clear to me from the beginning. Appreciated. It means a lot. Thank you. We both worked hard to make it happen. I wish I was as sure as you. That was the woman behind every successful man. I mean, you could say that. I would say we both worked hard. Am I just saying me and Petter? Or, you know, I don't want to say there's a woman behind every successful man. I mean, because it's both progressive and not progressive. There's a man behind every successful woman. Could be a woman behind every successful woman. A man behind every successful man. You know? Anyway. We both worked hard to make it happen. Let's just say that. And tonight we reap the rewards. I hope you will show me the same enthusiasm on the job. Exactly. That's why we're here. We could start by getting some drinks. Yes, I definitely need a celebration after all that. Yes. Show enthusiasm on the job. Of course I will. You know me. I work as hard as I play. Gave a short smile that looked halfway genuine. He seemed uncomfortable. Monica, how are you? You've barely said a word. I'm more than relieved to have this roller coaster ride over with, but of course, now the real work begins. I was going to say, roller coaster's just beginning. Managing the help, planning parties, daily trips to the salon to look your best for foreign dignitaries. Don't be so old-fashioned, Evelyn. I plan to use my power as First Lady to advance the position of woman throughout Swordsland. Equal rights for our sex are long overdue, wouldn't you say, Anton? As long as you don't burn the roaster. Can't say that. Up to a point, yes. They mustn't neglect their responsibilities to their husbands and families. Absolutely, we'll work together to achieve that. Yes, we'll say that one. She flashed me a smile. Diana suddenly jumped in between us and tugged on my sleeve. Papa, can we go? I want to see the ballroom. Yes, it's time to go. We're having a conversation here. Of course, darling. I mean, this conversation isn't too important anyway. But then again, we are having a conversation here. I don't know. I don't know how to deal with children, do I? We just say that, oh, we want our child to be happy. We're not going to spend a lot of time with them, so let's say, let's be nice. Left the lobby and made our way towards the ballroom. Inside, we were yet again surrounded by a noisy crowd, but this time it was the politicians who sought to appease the new authority in Swordland. I spent the next few hours shaking hands, joining various conversations, some serious, some superficial, and making speeches. We finally settled down at our dinner table with the Vecturns as the band started playing some slow jazz tunes. Oof, that was tiring. We have to get used to it. You're already tired, another drink. If I have to shake another hand again, let's get used to it. Well, suddenly a loud banging noise echoed from outside the ballroom, then another one and another. Musicians stopped playing. Everyone in the room was looking around in confusion. Petra and I turned towards each other, realization dawning on both of our faces. Fireworks? No, gunshots. As soon as Monica heard the word, she lunged from her seat. Get down or shield Monica and the kids. I mean, I have to shield Monica and the kids. I have guards to shield me. Papa, what's happening? I knew it. We should have never gone. Chaos broke out. Some guests flung themselves under the tables and others ran towards the door screaming. Diana burst into tears while Frank tried to comfort her, hiding the fear in his own eyes. 3 more gunshots rang out loudly. Mr. President, are you all right? Head of the Swordish police force was running towards us with 3 more police officers in decorated uniforms. They all had their guns drawn. As soon as he made it to us and saw that we were unharmed, he let out a big sigh of relief. Thank God. What the hell is going on? Status report. Yeah, we'll do that then. 1 second, Mr. President. He turned around quickly to his men. Check the perimeter now. Paul, Janssen, follow my lead. We will bring them to the safe room. He now turned to Monica, Evelyn, and the children and spoke in a softer voice. Do not worry. Situation is now under control. Please follow me. Promptly followed Carl through the winding halls and corridors of the palace. His men still had their guns drawn, which did nothing to ease the tension. On the way, Petter made an attempt to break the silence. What a night. It's not over yet. Can you shut your mouth? You can say that again. It's not over yet. Carl turned to us with a serious face as we were about to round a corner. Quiet, please. Sorry, I talk when I get nervous. Petter, shut up. Carl flipped a switch on the wall and a panel opened, revealing a hidden staircase leading to a large reinforced door. Inside, a set of emergency lights flickered on. The safe room was comfortable and spacious with expensive-looking leather sofas. Small security monitors on the wall displayed grainy footage of each room in the palace. There was a boardroom and a pantry containing enough provisions to last us months. Monica and Evelyn sat the children down and started wiping their tears. Carl stepped away from us and made a few radio calls. When he was done, he returned to me and Petter. So what's the status? Not the best immigration bill I've been to. Are we under attack? Or do we have clowns for a security force? So what's the status? Something crackled to life. Every second felt like an eternity as he pressed his ear to the receiver. When it fell silent, he turned to us. Good news, we're not in any danger at the moment. The situation has been dealt with and the perimeter has been secured by the guards and the police. He glanced towards Monica, Evelyn, and the kids. If I may, sir, he gestured towards a more private corner of the room and started speaking more quietly. This is what we know so far. We have confirmed that 2 people were gunned down in front of the palace. The attacker is one of them. We have reasons to believe he was working alone. He fired 3 shots at an MP, 1 to the head, 2 to the body, instantly killing him. Presidential guards at the palace immediately shot and killed the attacker. He has not been identified yet and will require an investigation. The MP that was killed was identified as Bernard Circus. This is huge. I mean, who's this guy? Poet, novelist, short story writer, and politician who claimed for a lyrical flow and was regarded to be the leader of the Swedish avant-garde. His early writings were heavily influenced by the social, cultural, and economic problems of his home city of Deir. His work earned him description a romantic communist. So he's a socialist. Fine. I'm just trying to see if there's any other information I can pick out. I don't know. A lot of problems, is it? Pulled out 2 cigarettes and handed me some. He then turned to Evelyn, and I could hear him trying to reassure her that everything was going to be all right. Monica was trying to tend to Deanna and Frank. As Frank paced the room, mumbling that he should have stayed home. That's an old friend. What the hell have we gotten ourselves into? Smoke alone. I mean, I want to do this followed by that, right? There's plenty of time to do both of those things. Nothing you and I can't handle. I lit my cigarette and took a deep drag. We were going to see this through at all costs. I crushed the cigarette on the ashtray. Well, and that's probably time to end this episode. If you are enjoying this, please leave a like, because if no one is enjoying it, then I will not continue. But if you want to see more like this or other things that are available on the channel, then please do check them out, or subscribe so that you'll be notified in some way. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.